confused.
Here's why ghosts are actually machines. Let me explain why. These fluffy marshmallows don't actually... You can watch a video and just know...
What time was it? 16 hours ago. I hate Minecraft logic, I really do. What? What?
Why does Michael Jordan no longer speak to one of his best friends, Charles Barkley? Besides being two of the greatest to ever do it, both these guys are hot-headed, stubborn, and full of themselves. Rewind the clock, and they were best friends. They're cracking jokes with Oprah, playing golf, gambling, you name it. But in 2012, the friendship cracked. Jordan was serving as the Hornets owner, and despite his GOAT status, the Hornets have objectively failed during his tenure. Of course, with Jordan being the ultimate alpha, almost nobody in the media criticized him like they would the other owners, except Charles. For better or worse, he tells it like it is. He went on a radio show in 2012 and hammered Michael for his shortcomings as an owner. While Charles thought his friend would recognize fair judgment, this was far from the case. The two haven't spoke since that day, and that doesn't seem like it's changing anytime soon. When asked if he...
1 second of playing violin. 1 day of playing violin. 1 week of playing violin. 1 month of playing violin. 1 year of playing violin.
The 1 second is better than the 1 year, I'm gonna be honest.
5 years of playing violin.
What will 10 years be?
10 years of playing violin.
5 years is better, I'm gonna be honest.
The cheat code for YouTube. In a recent episode of Impulsive,
It's crazy how I do no damage!
I am terrified of James Charles. Oh, wait, hold on. What did James Charles look like in 2000? I'm just gonna say 2012 because I can't think of anything. What?
Wait, you're telling me I can teach myself guitar with this app?
Yeah, with Simply Guitar.
Can it teach me to play chords?
Yes.
Can it teach me how to read tabs?
Yeah.
Now, I'm no artist, but I'll try my best. Look who decided to show. Can someone tell me what they wrote? Remember, there are no bad ideas. How many times do I need to tell you guys? Put your name on the paper. Jeez. Hey, if I wanted to hear animal noises, I would go to the zoo. Now be quiet. Has anyone seen my coffee? How am I supposed to help you if I can't read your writing?
I wish I could help, but I can't even read it.
No, you can't go to the bathroom.
Well, my mama said if I have to go to the bathroom, I can just walk out.
I don't care what your mom says. This is my classroom, and I said no.
Huh. Guess they have a sense of humor. Hey, Federal Bureau of Time.
What's a beer? I don't even care anymore. Alright, here. I'm just gonna watch like Zootopia explained by reacting to reacting to Zootopia explained by an
Welcome to
idiot.
Zootopia. It starts with a bunny making a school play about how animals that are predators are now cool with animals that are prey. They're getting along just fine. Now they stand on 2 feet and can be anything they want. And she wants to be a cop, which scares the bejeebus out of her parents because they are pussbags and try to persuade her to let go of her hopes and dreams and aspirations and become a giant loser like them. And they're 275 kids and just farm carrots all day. If they had 200 kids, even if the older ones help out sometimes and take care of the younglings, there's no way they can give all of them the same attention that they're giving Judy right now. Which means Judy's their favorite child, or they're horrible parents, or both, actually. Why not? Anyway, she's like, let everybody dream, motherfuckers, and she wanders off to go protect these kids from a bully wolf that tries to steal the tickets. That's not a wolf, that's a fox. Listen, I'm gonna get a lot of animals confused in this video, okay? I'm a dumbass. Just saying this right now. So Fox ends up clawing her face. This does not leave a scar, by the way, and she gets up with the tickets and gives them back and vows to become a police officer because she's a stubborn, dumb bitch. Then we cut to 15 years later, she in cop training on this
15?
It has 12 unique ecosystems, and you have to train for all of them.
She looks like she. And I've seen this movie before, and she looks like she's like 12.
Audience more 12 ecosystems, my ass. Whatever. Judy keeps filling up the courses, but then trains in the sunset and watches Rocky and starts doing well at them and passes. Cool moves, right? But what happens when you don't have a bunch of retards standing around that you can abuse to get over a giant wall of ice? Honestly, this should count as cheating, but the polar bear's a dense motherfucker and doesn't say shit. She passes, and the mayor, who's a lion, couldn't be more on the nose with this shit, could you? Alright, he comes to her fucking cop graduation ceremony thing, because she's the first ever bunny and is no shit first bunny, and her parents try to give her gifts, protective gifts, before she leaves to the big city, which is Utopia. Like, this fox taser. How's a fox taser different from any regular one? Doesn't matter. She takes the fox spray as a compromise and goes on a train to Zootopia, which isn't that far away, because it only takes her one whole song to get there, and we see only 3 ecosystems. Where's all the 9, you cunt? She makes it to her new apartment, which is just a bedroom and fixed stuff, bro. Then gets to her first day of work, and apparently there's bunny racism in this movie, because you can't call a bunny cute. It's offensive for whatever fucking reason. Then she goes to roll call, and... No, wait, no. In this scenario, she slides off the slippery steel chair, and the chair doesn't move a fucking inch off the ground. Ever heard of physics or friction, you Garfunkel twats? Whatever, Chief Buckroll comes in to do roll call. They got 14 missing animal cases, so he divides them up among the officers. I thought detectives were supposed to deal with this fucking detective stuff. This is detective stuff, right? Doesn't matter. Judy doesn't get a case, and she gets assigned parking duty instead, and she's like, this bitch! And tries to go get one of the missing animal cases, but he's just like, nope, don't care. So she decides to prove her worth by ticketing a lot of parkings. That sounds right and wrong at the same time in my head. So parkings are getting ticketed, and when she sees a sly fox that is up to no good, so she follows him into this ice cream shop, and it turns out that he just wants to buy an ice cream jumbo pop thing for his son, but is being faced by some fox racism by this elephant like, what does the fox say? Look at me. All I can do is reference dead memes, and now I'm relatable. I'm so sad. Officer Judy Plops sees this discrimination, won't stand for her, and she like, hey, fat fuck, serve this kind fox and whatever pop, or I'm gonna tell on you for serving ice cream with a side of boogers on it. Fucking fat cunt. So Dumbo agrees, and she buys them a jumbo cock and talks to the little kid like,
Want to be an elephant when you grow up? You be an elephant. Because this is Zootopia. Anyone can be anything.
no, he can't, Judy. It's physically impossible. Don't be lying, Judy. Then later on, while being at parking,
Don't be
she
lying.
spots them melting the jumbo shit on the rooftop somewhere. Then she follows them to see them freezing it in the cold district or whatever. Then selling them to stupid business hamsters and keeping the sticks and selling them as construction material to mice. And this dude is actually full-grown midget fox, is some different type of fox. Maybe I saw him once in National Geographic. I don't actually know what he is. So she confronts Nick the Dick, and he does a magic trick.
And I'm not the liar. He is.
He wasn't even running with that. Fucking Houdini Fox, everybody. Anyway, she tries to arrest him for some stuff, but he's like, I'm about to whip a nana on your ass. Watch this. Ooh, see that? See that? Ooh, necessary purpose, bitch. Suck my ass. Then he gives her a reality check and calls her a dumb bunny. And she's like, I'm not a dumb bunny. And he's like, right, and that's not what it meant. Why did she only start sicking when he said that? She was standing there for like a good 20 seconds. Doesn't matter. She goes home defeated that day and FaceTimes her parents. They find out that she's a meter maid, and they're like, oh shit, that's incredible news. Honey, she's a loser. Just like us. She's a meter maid. That's the safest job on the force. Oh my god. Next day, everybody hates her because no explanation needed. No one likes to get a ticket. And how the fuck is this mouse going to transport that ticket? Even if he folds it, it'll take up half his car. Actually, I have many questions about Zootopia. Like, is the death rate for rodents in cars sky high? Because even with their own lane, they're getting fucking squished, right? Are all predators now vegan? Like, where do they get their fucking protein? What do they eat? Are eggs still a thing? Butter? Milk? Is that cow cyst? Chicken cysts? Did they go to court for that stuff? Like Honey in the Bee Movie? A lot of unanswered questions, man. Anyway, back to point. The weasel steals some shit from a pig, and it's Judy's time to shine, so she gives chase to the weasel, and once again, all laws of physics and gravity get bent over and raped by a fucking cactus because the weasel throws the stolen goods over the road in town fence, and it should clearly continue in an arc-like fashion in this direction, but instead he crawls through the entrance and it drops like a rock. Then they have a chase in Tiny Mouse Town, and these buildings must have no foundation for them to do this domino shit effect. Then Judy saves the mouse from a donut and then arrests the weasel with the same nut of dough, and brings him back to the police station only to get chewed out by Chief Butthole for doing all this reckless shit only to stop a weasel from stealing a few nut onions. Then the lady otter comes in like, please find me husband, and Bunny be like, I'll find him for for you. Then Bo goes like, oh, you will do no such thing. But Assistant Mayor Bellwether comes in like, yes, she will. And he's like, oh, fuck my ass. He doesn't believe in her, right? And he gives her 48 hours to find Emmett's daughter. And if she doesn't find him, then she quits. Challenge accepted, she says. And she starts working on the case with her limited clues. And she gets lucky because in the picture she has, she finds him sucking on some dick. I mean, a popsicle from Nick's popsicle stand. So she finds Nick and sees she's in the mouse lane. They have to swerve to get out of the way. If this were rush hour, she killed like 7 mice there. Anyway, Nick wants her to fuck off because time is money and he'd be making $200 redos every single day since he was 12. So she makes some quick maths and figures out that he made over $1 million in profit and paid 0 tax, which is illegal as shit. And she recorded everything he said on a plastic carrot pen. And if he's so rich, then why isn't he on bigger and better hustles or retired? What a fucking stupid dumbass fox. Anyway, if he doesn't want to go to jail and get the camera recorder, we'll have to help her on this case. And Midget Fox comes out laughing like, she hustle you good. So Nick takes her to the last place he shot Shipman Otter Guy, which is a nudist natural club, but there ain't no genitalia shown because kids in Weasel just pretend there's a bunch of dicks and twats all over the place. And they luck out again because they get a lot of info from this fucking guy. I don't know what he is, but he tells them that Emma got into a limo and the fucker even remembers the license plate of the limo. Fucking lucky as shit. Some fucking cow doo-doo right there, but okay. She's not into ZPD system, so she can't use the Zip-Pick Dick resources and she can't run a plate. But Nick knows a lot of people and she once again twists his hand into helping her. So he's like, alright, bitch, I got a pal at the DMV. Takes her to DMV and they're all sloths. Comedy-wise, funny gag, mate. DMV slow. What a knee slapper, mate. But logic-wise, who in their right mind would think this was a good idea? Whatever. He takes her to his guy and he wastes a lot of time for her and they finally run the plate at the end of the day. But they still go to the limo service place, which is locked now because no shit, it's the end of the day. And she has nowhere to be in there, so she goes, alright, here's your hair, and throws it over the fence. And he climbs over and she digs under and gets the care before he does. And she's like, pretty sure I just saw a scum of the earth low-life criminal climb over the fence, so I have probable cause to be in here. So onwards with my investigation, bitch. And Nick's balls stay at the end of a very short leash, and I'm 99% sure that there exists Room 34 porn and what I just said. They find the limo, it's unlocked. What kind of retard business doesn't lock their limos, even their own parking lot, space, compound, whatever place? Doesn't matter.
They didn't lock their limo.
Fuck onions. This is Mr. Big's car. We gotta get out of here because I'm not exactly on good terms with him, so we gotta go. They get taken by some polar bears. Turns out Nick sold Mr. Big a little skunk's ass, and when they get to wherever the polar bears are taking them, we find out that Mr. Big's actually a mouse, and we get a nice little Godfather bit like, you come into my house, the deal my daughters are going to be married. Why is he Russian? He's not Russian. Then he tries to kill them, but Azar comes in like, ah, shit, Dad, that's this cop that saved my life from that donut. And now because she saved his daughter, he's best friends with Mr. Big, and he tells about Emmett the Otter, which is that he went bonkers in the limo and attacked the driver. So they go over to the driver in the Rainforest District to do some more digging. And driver's eye is all scratched up. He tells him something about night howlers, and when he opens the door for them, he turns savage. And for some reason now he can use his fucked eye because wild animals have no emotions and they don't feel pain. Very well known fact. Anyway, he attacks them and they try to run away and she calls for backup but only gets to the Beast Cheetah receptionist. Is that because she's not in the system yet or whatever? Or does everyone who calls for backup get connected to the front desk? That's just stupid. Don't matter.
Yeah, front desk, I think. Right? Yeah.
They come
Wait.
over and go to see the Savage Jag. But he's not there.
Yeah.
And Chief Ho tells her you have 48 hours, now hand in your badge. But Nick's like, she will do no such thing. You gave her 48 hours, right? So that means we got 10 left to find daughter. So that's what we're gonna do. Good day. But I said good day, sir. They get into this thing and she thanks him for sticking up for her. And he tells her that when he was a kid, he was a victim of Fox racism. And he gets his brainwave that they can use a buttload of security cameras all around the city to see where the Jaguar went. So they go to Assistant Mayor Sheep to use her computer because she has access to all the cameras apparently. I don't know if that's a thing Assistant Mayors can do, but I don't give a fuck. She gets called in by Mayor Reinhardt to be abused by him, and then Nick and Judy check out all the cams and see that 2 wolves came over to take the Jaguar. Then they did a howl, so they're the not howlers, and put them in the car, drove around a bit, and drove over to this generic evil lair on a cliff / waterfall number 9. So Judy and Nick go over there, sneak past the guards who are too busy howling, and sneak into the evil lair place through the shit chute. Turns out this is an old hospital, and they go snoop around a bit and find a bunch of caged savage animals. Driver's there, and so is Otterton, and all the other missing mammal cases too. Then they hide because the mayor walks in with this Dr. Mole, Hedgehog, some animal, I don't fucking know, and they start talking. See, animals been going savage, and they don't know why, so he collects them for study and to fix them and put them back on the streets, but they can't fix them because they don't know what's wrong with them. Doctor doesn't know what's wrong with them. And she goes on to say that since they're all predators, this might have something to do with the genetics, and he doesn't want that to get out because no doink, he's a fucking lion, it's gonna look bad for him. I just realized that means that otters are predators, which I can't believe. Just look at them. They're so cute. Did you know that otters hold hands in the water so they don't drift apart when they're asleep? That's fucking adorable. Anyway, even filming this whole conflict, gets a call from her lame-ass parents ruining their stealth mission, so the place goes on lockdown and the guards come in, but once again, they just shoot to their advantage and escape through it. Judy calls Boho, the cops come, the mayor gets arrested like, you don't understand, I was just trying to protect the city, shut up, puke man. Then we fade to a press conference where Judy gives Nick the pen and an officer application form because she could use a partner. Yeah, let's just forget about the whole tax evasion thing and the possible criminal record. Then she goes up to the stand and gets shaken by the media into saying that it might be in the predator's DNA to go savage, and Nick gets offended by that. And when she's done, he'd be like, fuck you, Judy, boo, you can clap your own ass cheeks, bitch. And he leaves. This is how he even tried to go for the fox spray when he was testing her. Sime. After that, Zootopia becomes
Sime.
Zoomama, whatever is the opposite of Utopia. Zoodystopia. Doesn't sound as good, but whatever. It becomes Zoomama. We get a lot of predator racism going on, protests and stuff. They start calling them predators instead of predators. And a strong independent predator called Martin Leopard King comes over. Okay, I'm making this shit up.
Martin Leopard King.
There is no cure for the savageness yet. And Mayor Bellwether, she's the mayor now, wants to put Judy's cute face on a bunch of posters, but she's like, I'm no hero. I ruined this city. And she quits the zip, goes home to farm carrots with her parents, who are concerned, like,
You are not fine. Your ears are droopy.
of course they are. Look at the hat she's wearing. You think she can get a stiffy with that on, dumb asshole? Anyway, she inspired her parents to work with the fox that bullied her as a kid, and he'd be like, I'm sorry, Judy, I was being a retard back then. Then her dad mentions that he used these plants that make you go nuts if eaten to repel bugs, and apparently her uncle Terry ate one and went crazy and bit her mom, and the plants are called night owls. And she's like, oh, night owls are not wolves, they're plants. Give me the keys. And she drives off to Zootopia without asking what happened to their fucking Uncle Terry. Did they cure him, or did he go to the farm? Do they still use that saying in the universe? We'll never know, because bitch didn't ask. Anyway, she goes over and finds millionaire Nick chilling on a fucking lawn chair under a bridge and apologizes to him. They make up, and apparently she's standing on his tail here, although on this shot it's all the way over here. Then they drive, he eats her berries, not sexual, he eats actual berries. They drive off to go find the weasel thief, because not onions he was stealing were actually night howlers, and they interrogate him using the help of Mr. Big to find out who he was stealing it for. By the way, now that Judy and Mr. Big are best buds, is she gonna turn a blind eye to all his illegal activities later on? Doesn't matter. Turns out that the night howlers are for a hit ram who's running a meth lab in an old subway car, making magical make me go savage bullets and targeting only predators, and they snuck into it and found out all this stuff. And while he was making a Breaking Bad reference with these two guys, they kick him out and try and steal the car, and we end up having a real bullshit chasing where this ancient piece of shit still runs and no one dies even though the car derails and fucking explodes. Whatever though, all the evidence explodes except for the briefcase with the gun and the bullet in it, and they end up somehow in the Natural History Museum, and Mayor Fluffy heads there like, you did a great job, Judy, now hand over the briefcase. But Bunny decides otherwise because she's kind of sus, and they run away from her and her bodyguards. Judy gets hurt and they hide while Mayor Bellend explains her evil motives / plan. Pretty simple actually. She's just sick of being pushed over by predators, so now she's gonna make them all look bad by making them go savage. Then they make another break for her about get pushed into this exhibit thing whole place, and she shoots Nick with the savage gun and calls the cops while Nick goes savage and tries to kill Judy, and Fluffy bitch continues her evil plan speech. Then Nick kills Judy, but they're like death, blood, blah, 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 and scene. You see, it was a ruse. She got hustled because Nick switched out the bull with a bunch of berries, and they recorded the whole thing on the caravan. The cops arrive, Ho gets arrested, they develop an anti-howler antidote, Nick becomes a cop, and Flash, the DMV slaw, somehow has fast enough reflexes to go street racing. This movie gets 17 Zooey Mamas out of 3,000 ooh-wees.
How do I say this? I want to watch another one. Yes, Spider-Man 3.
Is now your partner in store. Introducing a complete point of sale system. Simplify your workday.
Welcome to Spider-Man 3. And I know this is a Cinema Sins thing, but over 3 minutes of opening credits? Come on! Also, this movie takes place after Spider-Man 2. Fucking duh. But, like, welcome to...
Reacting to Spider-Man 3 explained by an idiot.
Welcome to Spider-Man.
Oh god.
And I know this is a Cinema Sins thing, but over 3 minutes of opening credits? Come on! Also, this movie takes place after Spider-Man 2. Fucking duh.
What the heck is Cinema Sins?
Okay. Which I watched many moons ago, but have not rewatched before making this video. Damn it, dumbass. But I'm hoping my memory does me a solid and fills in the blanks. You hear that, brain? I got you, homie. On to the water. We got Peter and James Franco at a plot where it showed that MJ's proposal.
Is his name really?
He's done singing.
I don't know if that's his real name or if that's from like a reference of 11/22/63. My daddy. My daddy. No, nothing to talk about my daddy.
James Franco had a plot where it showed that MJ's performing it, and after she's done singing, Peter goes to James and he's like, yo, we gotta talk, bro. He's like, nah, nothing to talk about my daddy. I don't remember what it was. Whatever, Peter tells MJ that
nah, nothing to talk about my daddy.
contraption. Peter and MJ now stargazing on a giant spider web, and like, are they stuck to it? Are the sticky bits only the tips of the spider webs? I feel like they should be stuck to it. Anyway, they do some smoochy.
They really should be stuck to the spider web, right?
Black goop comes out of it and sticks to Peter's moped when they leave. Cut to some dude running away from the cops. He just escaped from prison.
On the
He gets
run.
home, puts on a Blue's Clues t-shirt. That is the Blue's Clues t-shirt, right? Oh, give me a sec. Yeah, it looks pretty close. Wait, who the fuck is this guy? What did you do to Blue's Clues? Actually, it's pretty fucking accurate now because it's blue. But still, he breaks some bread. His wife comes out. Or
It's pretty accurate now because it's
they
blue.
have an argument which wakes up.
Wait.
What did you do to Blue's Clues? Actually, it's pretty fucking accurate now because it's blue. But still, he breaks some bread. His
That's
wife
bread?
Or his ex-wife, whatever, doesn't matter. And they have an argument which wakes up their sick child, and he leaves because the 5-0's come around. Cut back to Peter. He's at
Never heard of the
right?
5-0.
He's telling her that he wants to marry MJ. She drops some wisdom on his stupid little head. Sad Uncle Ben time. Then she gives him her marriage ring. Marriage ring? It's wedding ring, right? So he leaves, and on his way back, some dude in fucking hoverboard swoops in and takes him out on this James, right? Oh, man. Oh, I get it. Oh, wait. I'm
Wait.
She drops some wisdom on his stupid little head. Sad Uncle Ben time. Then she gives him her. Oh, man.
Oh god.
It's wedding ring, right? So he leaves, and on his way back, some dude in fucking hoverboard swoops in and takes him out on this James, right? Oh, man. Oh, I get it. Oh, wait.
Having the memory of a goldfish.
He's Green Goblin's son, so he's like, I don't know what his name is. His comic book name is. He's like Little Booger. Okay? So I get it now. So James
Harry.
picks him up, and they have a big ass fight, or not big ass. It's just low key fight, right? But he still does some Spidey stuff, which should have been seen by everybody. Because at many times he's super close to the ground. It's not that low key actually, because dude rips a fucking chunk of building off and shatters it. Which, by the way, not only do the occupants of this apartment have a heart attack and major renovation plans, but the chunks he shattered this wall into are nowhere near small enough to be inconsequential to the people below. Just saying, people are fucking dead and cars are destroyed. They fight some more and actually take the fight somewhere and people can't see him like in a fucking
Who just got a... Was that Donkey or...
He goes bing splat, so he's kind of fucked right now. So Peter takes him to the hospital. Then we cut to Blue's Clues. He's on the run, right?
Blue Clues.
And he faces them by jumping into this testing facility, then drops into a pit where a bunch of lab coats are about to do some movie science and some sand. When they notice that something's in the pit, and they're like, bird, it'll fly away. Yeah, probably. How very scientific of you, Mr. Science Man. This is a testing facility, research type place, right? So you gotta have like a camera pointed in that pit or some other way to actually look inside before making the stupid assumption, you dumbass. Like, look at these guys. You just tell me this fucker's staring blankly into an empty wall? Fuck no. He's probably looking at some screens or like maybe even a see-through glass into the pit, like to tell what's going on in there. Moving on. They turn on the thing with the dude died, and he turns into fucking sand. He gets vaporized or sandized or whatever. And the cops can't find him, but don't worry, cause Blue's Clues ain't dead. He just turned into sand. He now is Sandman, and he remakes himself the next morning and grabs onto a locket his daughter gave him, which makes me ask, like, why the fuck it didn't get sandized? I mean, if it's cause it's metal, then his belt buckle should have been sandized. What are the rules here, man? Cut back to the hospital, and James is up, and he is good. He's A-okay, but he lost a bunch of his memory from that bing boom bop, right? He lost the memory all the way back up until Peter supposedly killed his dad, right? Which is super convenient for Peter. Then next day comes, and MJ is super sad because she got bad reviews on her Broadway show, and she goes to complain to Peter. He's like, don't worry, I get it, I'm Spider-Man. Do fuck your Spider-Man shit for a second, I'm sad. But then that police
I'm sad.
was like, people, oh, we got an oopsie happening at 69th and Dickhead Street. So Peter puts on his Spidey suit in a millisecond and jumps out the window to go deal with the oopsie. Turns out Crane's going ape shit. And hey, Gwen, see that giant metal beam coming towards your building? Yeah, how about you don't move towards it, you fucking delinquent? When Spider-Man
How about you don't move
go to the Daily Bugle, and this joke is obviously funny and a classic, no doubt. But if you're trying to watch his blood pressure, this jump scare of a fucking desk is not helping. Anyway, Skinny Brock Lesnar's trying to steal Peter's thunder at the Daily Bugle, and Boss Man's like, alright, whoever gets me a picture of Spider-Man doing some criminal shit, I will give him a job. Then we get a Stan Lee cameo, rip in peace, my man. James gets home safe and sound, and MJ goes to rehearsals and finds this other lady, and she's like, who the slut? We replaced you because you suck. Eat my ass, Donovan. Then we got this big-ass party where Spider-Man's supposed to receive the key of the city, which I never understood. understood, like, how can a city have a key? Is there, like, some giant door or something? Also, how the fuck did they coordinate this with Spider-Man? Did they just make an announcement and hope he saw it and showed up? And what if he didn't see it or just didn't want to show up? Like, yeah, I'm good. Actually, I'm good. Like, he's seeing any pox in his fucking suit? Nah, man. It's fucking, I'm wearing tights, man. Shit's fucking hard. Spandex shit, nah. Anyway, Spider-Man's standing on the edge of a building without his fucking mask on. Fucking moron. Dude, this is Spider-Man parade. Everybody's gonna be looking for you. They got cameras. Some of them even know where you're swinging in from. Fucking tampon. But don't worry, the retardation does not stop there, because after he swings in, everybody yells at him and is chanting for him to kiss Gwen. Everybody except this kid. Yeah, man, listen to the fucking kid. Don't kiss her, man. Your girlfriend's right there. Oh, you fucking cunt. So MJ gets sad, no shit. But there's no time for that, alright? Because evil Sandcloud. Sandman has been beating some cops up, and now he's on his way to steal a truck full of cash. So Spidey Boy goes to stop it. The truck crashes, he saves the two dudes in the truck, and the Sandman gets away. Stop taking your fucking mask off on top of low buildings.
I was about to say the same thing. It's just without the swears. Just stop taking your mask off.
Fucking sad. I get it. I'm Spider-Man. No, you fucking don't. Buildings. God damn it. Next up, we got Peter MJ.
I'm sad. I get it. I'm Spider-Man.
I'm fucking sad. I get it. I'm Spider-Man. No, you fucking don't understand shit. Okay. But then, Gwen shows up and she says hi, then leaves. And that's when MJ snaps. She's like, who? Alright, so you don't understand how I feel. And now this bitch comes along. She's just a girl. Why are you sticking it? I'm asking both of you. Shut the fuck up, okay? I can't believe I have to. Okay, look. You are a self-centered little slut, and you are a convoluted asshole, okay? Listen, communication is key in a relationship. Just fucking tell him you got fired. And you stop going around kissing other girls, you narcissistic little prick. Fucking hell. Simple shit, guys. Simple shit. It's basic ABC shit, alright? God. So MJ leaves sad as shit, and he doesn't propose, obviously. And after that, the cops tell him and Aunt May that the real killer of Uncle Ben is not this guy, but Blue's Clues. So he's mad as all heck, right? And he sits in his bed, he's like dreaming and listening to the... I just said it before, like a few minutes ago. The police radio, right? So yeah, he's listening to that to see what.
Isn't it just called a radio, not a police radio?
Space OPI has remained dormant till now, and jumps on Peter, consuming his suit, being one with his suit, and he has an orgasm and turns into emo Spider-Man.
Emo.
More confident in his abilities and all that shit, right? But when he gives the sample of that black goop to his doctor, or university professor, or whatever, professor tells him, don't come near that shit because it's dangerous, okay? But he's like, fuck that shit, I live on the edge, and he goes after Sandman in the black Spidey suit, and he fights him, the guy fights back, then Spider-Man flushes him down the sewers with a giant pipe, which Blue's Clues had all the time in the world to avoid, but he just stood there like a fucking moron, so whatever. Peter walks away from that fight, and he sees himself in a mirror, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm emo Peter now. Then he yells at his landlord and takes the suit off. Goes to Aunt May, where she drops another wisdom bomb on his ass. MJ hangs out with James, they dance, they make food, they kiss, and they're like, oh, we shouldn't have done that, we should not have done that, oh, no, I have to go, I'm so sorry, no, don't go, oh, I have to go. After she leaves, James has a bunch of flashbacks and hallucinations of his Papi Chulo, and remembers how he's
Papi Chulo.
I have to go, I'm so sorry, no, don't go, oh, I have to go. After she leaves, James has a bunch of flashbacks.
Oh, that actually looks kind of cool. Like with the all ripped up Spider-Man suit. The red one, not the black one. Hold on. How does he do this? How does he say that? How does he say this?
After she leaves, James has a bunch of flashbacks and hallucinations of his Papi Chulo, and remembers how he thinks Peter killed his dada. So he kidnaps MJ and forces her to break up with him and break his heart. And he meets up with Peter to tell him how they kissed, and she told him that she got fired from that job and didn't tell Peter, and now they're a thing, and he just rubs it in his face like, fuck you. Then Peter leaves, sad as balls. James looks back like, hey, fuck you, and then, doesn't vanish. He's a magician. Woo. Later that night, Peter shows up as emo Spider-Man at James' house, and he
Did he just say emo? I thought it was emo. Yeah, it's emo.
That night, Peter shows up as emo Spider-Man.
He said emu. He wrote emo but said emu.
Ends with Peter sitting James' ass down, and Peter, one last ditch effort to fuck Spider-Man up, throws one of them goblin exploding balls at him, but Peter's like, no, you reverse Uno card, fucker. Pew! And the exploding ball Daily Bagel to expose Brock Lesnar for photoshopping Spider-Man into a bad guy.
Brock Lesnar.
He asserts his dominance on Boss Man by being a douche and uber fucking confident. Then he struts around town, supposedly impregnating women with his fucking finger guns. Flies and air humps a bit and takes Gwen Stacy out on a date to a bar where where MJ now works as a singer/waitress to flaunt his new date and dance with her in MJ's face, but he just ends up pissing off both girls. Gwen leaves and he goes over to MJ and she's like, what the fuck is your problem, man? And security tries to escort him out, but he's super strong, emo Spider-Man, so he just fights security. Some more security comes onto him and he just pushes them all out one by one until MJ comes along and pushes her off too by accident. And he's like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. He depresso espresso right now, so he goes up to a church bell tower.
More espresso, less depresso. Still depressed, but now I'm fast.
The bell, which makes loud noise that irritates the black goop, which drops down onto Brock, who was there praying to God to kill Peter Parker. He sees him from
I don't think that's how you pray.
Peter's successful in ripping the suit off.
Can you murder human? Please.
And what's Peter's thought process here? Like, okay, you're gonna take the goop off, now what? I know you're exhausted, man. You're probably exhausted from taking all that evil goop off, but you're not gonna at least try and go after it and contain it? Clearly not. He just goes home, fucking takes a sad shower, sits down in the corner like a little bitch. Then Aunt May gives him a visit to see how he's doing and drops some more wisdom on him. Aunt May, she's like a ball of wisdom. Cut to Sandman and Venom making a deal to take down Spider-Man together by kidnapping MJ, making a bunch of webbing on some scaffolding or like a skyscraper, suspending.
I don't think that's scaffolding. That's not scaffolding.
Spider-Man to them. But what I don't get is why he didn't write Peter Parker, stop us if you can. Because Brock knows his secret identity. So you'll be revealing it and luring him in at the same time. Two birds, one stone. Y'all villains are fucking stupid. Anyway, Peter sees that on TV, so he puts the Spidey suit on and goes to James to ask for help.
Spada.
His face. It's not dead. It's still alive. He's just fucked up, scarred for life. And when Pete asks for help, he's just like, piss off, Mike. So Peter leaves.
What?
He's like, I cleaned your father's wounds the day he died. And
the blade that pierced his body came from his glider. There's no question that he died by his own hand.
Which is a smart choice of words because that could mean anything from that he killed himself or Spider-Man used the glider to stab him and kill him, which technically still holds because he made the glider with his own hands, But, what the fuck do you wait so long to say this? What, it's only getting out of hand now? Doesn't matter. Spider-Man swings his way over to MJ and he launches up to MJ. Sandman are there. They get a hold of him and start double teaming him.
Wait.
He's getting fucked up, but RKO out of nowhere. James comes in with his goblin balls to help out Peter make up with him. They get MJ to safety and James takes on Sandman and here.
Oh, say, can you see?
Meanwhile, Venom was fighting Peter and he got him on the ropes, but James finished up with Sandman and saved Peter, and he does it again, this time sacrificing his life for him. Wow, what a guy. Peter breaks free from his bonds and he uses a bunch of poles to make a lot of noise, which he remember pisses off the goop from that church building. He makes impromptu cage around Venom and he keeps making more noise. Then he pulls Brock Lesnar out of fucking Venom and throws one of them Pokemon Spody balls inside there. Brock, because he's a dumbass, jumps back in. They both pull up and disintegrate. Wait, so hold on. One of them Pokeballs can do that and that, but can't kill James when blowing up literally no more than 1 foot away from his face.
Yeah. What about that?
He tells Peter that he was stealing money to help his sick daughter, and that killing his uncle was an accident. He didn't mean to do it. Peter forgives him. He sand clouds away. James dies. Sad funeral. Pete and MJ make up. The end. This movie gets a Pokeball out of a Goober Ball.
I know what a Pokeball looks like, so I'm gonna look at a Goober. Wait, is a Goober Ball a thing? Goober Ball. Pokeballs are better. My honest opinion. I'm not gonna lie. What's a movie I've never seen before? I've seen it, Chapter 2. I just wanna see what I wanna see what he thinks of it, Chapter 2. What is this?
Okay, this movie is nearly 3 hours long, which is gonna make keeping this long-ass video short incredibly hard. Especially because I have this thing in the top left corner, because I predicted a lot of things in this movie too. Alright, let's go, baby. It Chapter 2, and the events of this movie take place 27 years
Should I watch the first one
one
first? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that first. I have to watch the first one. It explained by an idiot.
Alright, so before I begin, I just want to put this up here, because I predict an uncanny amount of things that happen in this movie. Naturally, uncanny is a bit of an over-exaggeration, and I don't know how to spell it, but Google shall help me out with that. No worries. So, welcome.
How do you spell uncanny?
The two kids, Billy and his little brother, Georgie, who wants to go out and play
Gorgie.
with the little paper boat that they made. But Billy doesn't want to go down and play, so he fakes being sick and pussies out. So, Georgie goes down to play with the boat in the rain alone, and he runs after it, then he smacks his head into
How do you accidentally smack your head on
a roadblock.
a roadblock?
A post? I'm gonna call it a post.
A post.
Slams headfirst into a post.
I don't know if that's how you say it, but
And the boat gets away from him and goes down a storm drain. Then a creepy ass clown named Pennywise shows up in the storm drain and tricks Georgie into reaching inside so he can grab his boat, and then he bites his arm off, then pulls the rest of him in and eats him. Alright, now it's time to introduce the rest of the gang. We got Mike. He's homeschooled, his family died in a tragic fire, and he's too nice to shoot sheep, and his uncle gives him shit about it. Germ Boy. He's a mama's boy, and his mom is a huge, overprotective fat ass. Glasses. He jokes around a lot. Not much else. Stan. He's a pussy. Not much else to say about him either. Fat kid.
Who wears a shirt?
New kid. He has no friends and hangs out a lot in the library because he has no friends. And he has a crush on Beverly, a ginger girl whose mama is dead and her dad is kind of abusive and possessive and violent. And
Wait, Beverly's mom is dead?
New kid. He has no friends and hangs out a lot in the library because he has no friends. And he has a crush on Beverly, a ginger girl whose mama is dead and her dad is
No.
abusive.
No. And it is Beverly's mom dead.
Succumb.
How do you... What is it? Fail to resist pressure, temptation, or some other negative force. Has become the strain, die from the effect of a disease or injury. Oh, so Beverly's mom is dead from Succumb.
By your usual overblown movie bullies, especially this asshole, whose dad is a bit of an asshole and a cop. So some time passes and the school year ends with a bunch of kids being kidnapped or going missing, and Billy is convinced that his little brother Georgie is still alive somewhere. Then we cut to Mike, who's delivering some meat and has a spooky moment that gets interrupted by the asshole bullies who try to fucking run him over.
Well, they saved him, I mean.
Fucking movie bullies. Then Stan has a spooky moment while he was practicing Hebrew for
Is that a Holocaust?
a picture of a creepy lady falls.
What does a Holocaust look like? Holocaust. To be honest, I don't care. I just want to know what the symbol is. Symbol. Oh, it's not a Holocaust. It's the Star of David.
Over, and he goes to pick it up, and I bet the woman is no longer on the painting, and hey, what I say? Anyway, she shows up behind him and spooks him, and he runs away. And now the new kid, he's in the library reading about the history of Derry, and the librarian drops a book in a sudden cut, and he flips the pages of that book to an ominous soundtrack, and I'm guessing that is gonna turn into a weird-ass, scary flip book from hell, and...
I hate the music, I really do.
Severed head, there you go. And then he finds a...
Were the children really singing Chop Chop?
And he follows them like, ooh,
Chop 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 Chop
Chop. Into the fat for some shit, and hey, it's gone. That counts. Then after that, the bullies get a hold of him and they want to fuck him up. But some peeps drive by and they do nothing, fucking nothing, those pricks. So the main bully starts carving his fucking name into the fat kid's stomach. The fuck is wrong with this kid, dog? The fat kid tries to escape, pushes him off.
He does escape, actually.
The persistent bullies on Earth follow him in hot pursuit. Meanwhile, Billy, Stan, Glasses, and Germ Boy are down by the river or stream or whatever at a location where Billy thinks his brother might have ended up at. But what they find is a shoe of one of the missing kids I talked about earlier. Then the fat kid drops down in the river, all muddy and bloody and shit.
Scary and disgusting.
Disgusting!
His brother might have ended up at. But what they find is a shoe of one of the missing kids I talked about earlier. Then the fat kid drops down in the river, all muddy and bloody and shit.
Scary and disgusting.
Okay. How the fuck does he not make any noise running down the river prior to this fall? Was he flying? Did an eagle drop him? Was the river on silent mode? So they take the new kid to get some help, and first
Was the river on silent mode? Did the river have his mic muted?
With a DIY flamethrower.
Oh, that's Volsky. This guy's a god. I killed him though.
As soon as he fires that flamethrower again, he's gonna see some air shit, and there we go. Easy points.
I don't think that's not a flamethrower. That's a lighter and some spray thing.
Then he looks back, and a red balloon shows up, and they get him with the help and cuts her hair, and they never come back. Blah 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 blah. Bloody trail. Well house. Speaking of, now it's Beverly's scary moment, and she goes into the bathroom to read a poem that.
Oh.
Right. Nope, okay, whatever, it's cool. So then she gets her dad's tape measure, the fat kid. Then she hears some spooky noises coming out of the sink, and she goes to check it out, and shit is gonna come out of the sink, right? Nope, okay, whatever, it's cool. So then she gets her dad's tape measure and shoves it down the sink to see what's happening down there, and pulls it out, and oh, it's hair. Hair is coming out the sink. Ooh, now it's pure blood points, baby. Now it's Billy's turn for the spooks, and he sees Pennywise in his basement, and I don't see anything. So they
No, I lost my spot. Alright.
And Pennywise starts to eat.
Okay, whatever. I don't care.
There we go. Yep. So they clean out the bathroom, Billy flirts with Beverly, and Fat Kid watches in sadness. Then they find Mike, the homeschool kid, and he's getting beat up by the bullies. So they leave their bikes right in the middle of the fucking road, like they couldn't even put it on the fucking side, like on the side. Well, there's a sidewalk, you know. So they make it down there just before the main bully is about to crack Mike's head open with a fucking rock, that demented little shit. They say,
hold on. Belch is smart enough to stop Henry from scarring a child, but he's not smart enough to stop murder. This movie, dude. This is
They save him, then they throw rocks at each other and scare the bullies off and fuck him up. Then they all get to talking and find out that they're all having spooky moments, and they all see a clown, and so they go to Billy's house and they see a map of all the spooky happenings, and they find out that it's all connected to the well house. Then the projector starts flipping around some images, and I'm guessing it's gonna turn into another scary flip book type deal thing, you know? And it does. Then Pennywise gives them a sneak not to do so. So Billy rides up and decides to go to the well house.
Did he just say bully instead of Billy?
Pennywise give them a sneak peek at 3D technology, which is way ahead of their time, and he tries to eat them, but they get out of the garage just in time for him not to do so. So Billy rides up and decides to go to the well house because he doesn't give a fuck anymore, and he wants to go like, what's up, Danger? I'm not ain't no pussy. And the rest of the group follows him, but they're all hesitant.
What up, Danger?
Wow, all the dudes are pussies. You know what? Petition to change the word dick to mean wuss instead of pussy. All in favor. Except for the girl. Wow, all the dudes are pussies. You know what? Petition to change the word dick to mean wuss instead of pussy. All in favor. Alright. Actually, I'm too used to being pussy. All in favor of switching it back? Then it's settled. Nothing has changed. So some of them go in, and Glasses finally has his spooky moment with clowns, because that's what he's most afraid of, which is very convenient for Pennywise. And I'm betting that Pennywise is about to jump out of this fucking casket. Yeah.
Why did Richie yell? His mouth wasn't moving.
Because that's what he's most afraid of, which is very convenient for Pennywise. And I'm betting that Pennywise is about to jump out of this fucking casket. Yeah, I knew it. Some more shit happens, and Germ Boy falls through the fucking ceiling and breaks his arm. How? I don't know. He fell on his back in such a way that would never break his arm, and is clearly not broken in this shot, but whatever. Beverly stabs Pennywise in the head, then he leaves, then they all have a falling out. Some time passes, and we cut to the bully's dad, who's teaching him a lesson, because he's about to shoot a fucking cat, that stupid little child. After that, Pennywise gifts the bully a knife.
Oh my god, you scared me.
Fucking fat kid's stomach. And he tells him to kill his dad, which he does, and also tells him to kill the kids. Some fucked up shit, man. Then Beverly stands up to her dickhead dad and gets kidnapped by Pennywise. Billy finds this news out because he went to her house. I don't know why he went to her house, but he did. And this news is apparently enough to rally the troops so they can go and defeat the wise Penny. So they go down the well inside the well house, but the bully shows up trying to kill them. So Mike just throws him down the well. Good job, Mike. However, Stan didn't realize that the bully showed up and Mike was fighting him. So he continued onwards without the group, and Pennywise showed up and tried to bite his fucking face off in the form of this evil hoe. But thankfully the group show up just before he's about to fucking take a huge ass bite out of his face, and he's only left with bite marks on his face, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna scar, right? I mean, he has huge ass sunken teeth in his face.
Yeah, that should scar, but in the chapter 2 movie, it doesn't scar.
because just 5 minutes ago, he was the child that said we have to stick together, and that's the only way we can defeat him. Fucking dumbass kid. Whatever, the group catches up to him, and they find Beverly floating in the sky.
We have to stick together. That's the only way we can defeat him. But I seen a dead kid, and now I'm gonna go chase him. That's how I imagine Billy's. That's how I imagine Billy thinking.
So they get her down, and her eyes are white, and she's completely unresponsive. So Fatso tries to shake her out of it, but it doesn't work. And I'm thinking he's gonna kiss her, and then she's gonna snap out of it, right? Yeah, see, told you. Then they both recite the poem that he wrote for her, and Billy finds his little brother work, and I'm thinking he's gonna kiss her.
Oh, it just wrote like a poem when he said that. Roses are red, violets are blue. Not gonna say the rest.
But he deep down knows that it's Pennywise, so he pulls out Mike's goat killing gun and shoots his little brother in the head. Then the little kid morphs into Pennywise, and the kids realize that their fear makes him stronger, so they all grow a pair and start beating the shit out of him. He gets defeated because they are no longer afraid of him, and he jumps or drops down a well, and they all make a blood pact to kill him if he ever comes back, which, duh, of course he's gonna come back. He didn't kill him properly, dipshits. Then after they hang out a bit, everybody leaves one by one, and Billy and Beverly left together, and it looks like they're gonna kiss right here, and called it. That's it. This movie, 50 cent out of an unwise penny.
Yay, second one time.
Anxiety. Sometimes it felt like
I honestly don't care.
Fortunately, one of my friends told me.
Okay, this movie is nearly 3 hours long, which is gonna make keeping this. Kids are growing up now. Billy is a famous writer that's married to this actor bitch who sometimes doesn't believe in his writing. Germ Boy or Eddie is now a risk analysis dude, and he's married to this fat, overprotected naive bitch. Glasses, aka Richie, is now a big shot comedian. Fat Kid or Ben is now no longer a fat kid. He instead is hot and ripped and apparently very rich. Stanley is. Yeah, I don't know. He's just Stanley, but grown up, still a pussy, whatever. The homeschool kid Mike is still there in his library, and he's possibly slightly a bit local or paranoid. And Beverly got no clue what's going on in her life except for that she's married to this asshole who's very similar to her father. And apparently anybody who got married in this movie got married to a person that's very similar to their parents.
Okay, I love you, Mommy.
I don't know why the movie does this. Maybe it's to point out that nothing ever changed because they never really killed it properly, or that they never really grew up, or
that nothing really changes in general.
You know your parents and nothing ever changes in life. I don't know why I'm reading into this so much. It's not a fucking Shakespearean novel. Who cares? No time. Moving on. The movie starts out with this shot, and I can already tell from this shot alone, and don't ask me how I can do this, that this movie is gonna have some serious homosexual themes / vibes and characters to it. And sure enough, we got two gay dudes being gay in Derry. And Derry keeps up with its theme of having very violent bullies, and some bullies show up and they beat the shit out of the two gay dudes for being gay, but especially this guy, and then they throw him into the fucking river, and then Pennywise shows up and eats him. Then the news breaks out that there's a dismembered body in the river, which confuses the fuck out of me because I thought he could eat them and swallow them whole if he so pleases. Why the fuck is there any trace of this body left? I mean, I know it's to draw Mike over so he can find out that Pennywise is alive and he can bring all the gang back so he can eat them, but still. Anyway, as I said, Mike went over there and he found out that it was Pennywise, so he proceeds to call all the peeps back because they made a promise that if it ever comes back, they're gonna come back too and they're gonna kill it properly. And upon calling them, they all freak out in their own little way and Stanley literally fucking kills himself. Wait a minute, where are the scars on his face? Where are the scars from the bite marks from the last movie? They should have scarred, damn it. So this is about the time where we find out that the bully from the last movie is alive. He got washed away in the sewers and flushed out along with a bunch of other half-eaten corpses, and I must say that half-eaten is a very generous thing to say for me because look at this shit. He barely nibbled on them. He sucks at eating. What the hell? Also, this motherfucker got thrown down a very fucking narrow well, and it's fairly deep, I suppose, and he didn't hit his head on anything. He didn't drown, and he survived. It doesn't matter. After he got flushed out the fucking sewers, he walked to his home, at which he was promptly arrested for killing his father. Back to his room, he sees the Red Balloon.
No, I'm trying to...
He was promptly arrested for killing his father, and he was thrown in the loony
Tried to click
bin
an
for
X
27
on
years
something.
till now, where Pennywise shows him a red balloon outside his loony bin, signaling that he's once again recruiting him to kill people. Then, after he gets dragged back to his room, he sees the red balloon squished under his bed, and I bet you that balloon's gonna pop, revealing some spooky shit behind it, and it does, and that spooky, scary shit is his old pyromaniac friend, and that friend gives him his old knife. Now, cut back to the main gang, and they're in the Chinese restaurant, and they're bonding and shit, and it's mentioned by Mike that the further away you get from this town, the hazier memories of this place get, and once you come back, everything starts getting clearer and clearer, and you start remembering more and more. My question here is, how the fuck does Mike know about this memory loss shit? He barely ever left town, but he does mention that he read a lot of books, so any bullshit Mike spews out from now on, I'm just gonna attribute to the fact that he read all the books. So after they all
He read all the books. He did all the drugs.
They have to kill him. They'll have a little freak out, and 100% those fortune cookies are gonna have some creepy shit in them. And what do you know? They do, because all their fortune cookies together spell out, guess Stanley couldn't cut it. Then some freaky shit happens with the rest of the fortune cookies.
The fuck is that?
Exactly. What the fuck is that? So they all leave the restaurant and they call Stanley's wife and they find out that he committed to those
4? Really?
to get the fuck out of there, but Mike stops Bill to convince him that he is a way to kill it. And then we cut to it devouring a little girl. And I could have totally let this part out because it's completely the story and helps it in no way, shape, or form. But I really wanted to come on this dumbass hoe of a mother that didn't notice her child leaving her side. Fucking bland bitch. Now cut back to Mike and Bill, and Mike is like, yo, dude, I did all the drugs. I read all the books. I saw the Native American dudes, and they showed me how to kill it, and they showed me how it started, and they showed me everything. Just let me show you. And he drugs Bill with the same drugs that the Native American chakra dudes, that's a name chakra, gave him, so he can explain to him. Now, I'm gonna try and explain this shit to you, which is a momentous task, because I have no idea what the fuck I just saw. So 3 big lights come from sky long time ago. 3 big lights turn into creature. Creature eat people, and that's what I got, really. But that's not important. What is important is the ritual.
That's exactly what I saw, too.
They're going to use to defeat Pennywise. And to perform said ritual of truth, they must all get their artifacts. What are their artifacts? Their artifacts are the things they were attached to the most the time they first defeated Pennywise. They must go to the 3 dead lights, the 3 big lights came by the called the dead lights. They put the box down, they put the shit in the box, they burn the shit in the box, then they chant some shit, and then the lights go into the box, and they close the box, and then supposedly they have defeated Pennywise. At least that's how the chakra people explained it to Mike. So Mike and Bill go back to the gang, and Bill explains to the gang that what he saw was real and it's possible and they can kill him. So they're just like, hey, why don't we wait this cycle out till he goes back to sleep, and then we wait another 27 years and just rinse and repeat. What's the problem? Turns out they can't do that because Beverly dreamt of Stanley dying the way he did, and she also dreamt of them all dying before. And if they do try and keep postponing this, they will not even last another 20 years. And she's the only one dreaming of this stuff because she's the only one that saw the deadlights when they were kids. So they go over to an underground clubhouse that Ben built in the woods when they were kids, and they go get Stanley's artifact, which is a shower cap, because he didn't want them to get shit in their hair when they were sitting down there. Then they all split up to get their own artifacts, and Beverly goes to her old home and takes the poem that Ben wrote for her when they were kids out of a secret hole in the wall, and that is her artifact. And then she gets attacked by Pennywise in the form of this titty-swinging grandma, but she escapes. Then Richie goes to an old abandoned arcade, and he gets his artifact, which is an old arcade coin slot machine thing, you know? And then he has flashbacks from when he was a kid and he was playing there. And wait a minute.
You're fucking good. Hey! How about we go again?
Is the movie hinting that Richie's gay?
You assholes didn't tell me your town is full of little fairies.
Oh my god, it is. I'm gonna give myself another point with that. I was really on the money with that gay prediction from earlier. Anyway, Pennywise scares him in the park and he gets away too. Now it's Billy's turn. After buying his old bike from a pawn shop or something at a ridiculous
I know your secret.
In the middle of the fucking road. Like, dude, seriously, you're walking over to the curb. Why can't you park it there? What the fuck's wrong with you? This is a road for cars and shit. What's wrong with people in these movies dropping their bikes in the middle of fucking roads? Whatever. Billy talks to Pennywise through the storm drain. He gets the boat that he made for his brother back after almost getting sucked in by a gajillion arms. Then Ben goes back to their old school and he...
I counted, that was like 12.
As a kid, when Pennywise
12 arms.
School, and he hid in his locker, and that is a fucking scary guy shows up behind you moment if I've ever seen one.
Kiss me, fat boy. Wait, what? No, I thought Pennywise said something. Like, I thought he said, kiss me, fat boy.
How did he get away?
I thought Pennywise said that.
Pennywise, what the fuck is wrong with Pennywise, yo? You had him in a fucking locker, and this is at a time where you had them split up, and the point was to get them individually. What are you doing? So the point of all this was to get his artifact, which was the signature that Beverly wrote for him in his yearbook, which he tore and put in his fucking wallet. It was in his wallet the whole time. This was fucking useless. It's not like he forgot about it either, because he was clearly reminiscent about it in the beginning of the movie. So why the fuck are you here, dude? Why don't you go buy weapons or something to have an easier time defeating Pennywise at the end of the movie? Your job's done, dude. Why are you here? Don't matter. Next up, we got Eddie. He goes to his old pharmacy to pick up an inhaler. Yeah,
he's pretty rich. But yeah, Ben's rich.
Where Pennywise, in the form of this fucked up dude, tried to shove his tongue down his mom's throat. He succeeded clearly. Then he tries to scare grown-up Eddie. And I'm not gonna claim this jump scare as a prediction because it's just too easy. So Eddie tries to choke Pennywise out, and he's having some fucking success in that because he feels like Pennywise is getting smaller and he's killing him. But then Pennywise throws up in his face and doesn't really scare him off. He more like disgusts him off. After that, they all get back to the place that they're staying at, and they're all shook up and shit, and Richie wants to leave again. Then the dickhead bully who has escaped the loony bin shows up behind Eddie and he stabs him in the side of the face in his cheek. So Eddie steps into the bathtub.
That scene didn't really freak me out. I was amazed by it. Like, the way they acted that scene out surprised me. It looked cool, I guess.
fucking chest.
The way he
just
turned
shouts
around.
away, like, I'm fine. My insanity's keeping me alive. Yay! Anyway,
Stab me in the heart, but too bad I don't have one.
Pennywise is planning to kill the kid that now lives in his old house at the carnival. So he rushes over there to save him, and maybe, just maybe, if you used your car instead of your old ass bike, you would have made it in time to save the kid. Yeah, spoiler alert, the kid dies. I know I'm saying spoiler alert. This entire video is a spoiler alert. Now cut to Mike in the library, and he gets attacked by the dickhead bully. But then Richie shows up and he
Stab me in the heart, but too bad.
Because the axe in his head. Then the rest of the gang shows up, and they find out that Bill is fed up and he wants to go and kill Pennywise alone. And they're like, nah. So they go and catch up to him at the well house, and they enter the well house, and the usual Pennywise mindfuckery happens, where severed heads turn into spiders, and he tries to write what seems like an entire fucking novel on Ben's stomach. But they somehow avert all of that, and they go down to where they previously defeated Pennywise.
How does he write that much?
Right now, and Beverly hears something in the water, and she's gonna get dragged into the water, right?
I'm not gonna. Now I can turn it back up.
That manhole, and they get to where the lights descended or landed, okay? Then they begin the ritual of shoot, and they throw all their artifacts in there, and they burn the shit, and then they chant some other shit, and then the vagina in the ceiling opens up, and the 3 dead lights descend into the box, and Mike tries to close it, but no, a balloon starts to emerge from it, and it goes huge, and then it pops, and then Pennywise emerges out of it, and he is now, or it is now, in a giant spider-like form, and they're like, what the fuck, Mike? You told us this would work. And honestly, it's their fault for believing him, because the first thing they should have asked when they heard the chakra people told me how to defeat it is, and why the fuck didn't they defeat it, bitch, dumbasses? So the ritual doesn't work, and Pennywise starts to chase them around and manipulate the world and their minds and try to scare them a bit. Where Beverly almost draws in period blood, Ben almost gets buried alive, Bill shoves his hand up his own brother's ass, and Richie are forced
He actually does. Here, let me turn my brightness up to see this scene.
Ben almost gets buried alive, Bill shoves his hand up his own brother's ass,
what the?
Richie are forced to... So the ritual doesn't work, and Pennywise starts to chase them around and manipulate the world and their minds and try to scare them a bit. Where Beverly almost draws in period blood, Ben almost gets buried alive, Bill shoves his hand up his own brother's ass, and Richie are forced to choose between 3 equally scary doors.
I'm gonna keep my brightness up.
What the fuck Mike is doing.
That is so bright, never mind.
Escape or defeat their fears once again, and Eddie throws a spear at Pennywise to protect Richie from the deadlights, and he does succeed in hurting Pennywise. So, in retaliation, Pennywise stabs Eddie and throws him around and kills him. Then they somehow find out that they can bully him into a smaller size, so they
Here, I love this part.
Which they do, and he turns into a feeble little ball sack, and Mike reaches into his chest,
not this part,
out, and they all collectively crush it together, which is crazy to me because they all defeated this
part
form of Pennywise by literally going, you mean, you stupid, you a clown, you nothing but a stupid man, you a mean man, what is wrong with you? You stupid old lady, you bad, no one likes you, you bad. What the fuck, Pennywise? Just look at yourself, look at them, just bite them, eat them, like you can, I'm pretty sure you can get them all in one bite. Come on, dude. Whatever, the place starts falling apart, so they get out of there. Then they go,
he can get a max of 3 of them in one bite.
It's finally gonna be a thing now. And by the way, she completely forgot who wrote that poem for her because of all the memory loss shit. But now, obviously,
what memory loss?
I get a letter from Stanley post-death saying that the reason he killed himself was because he.
Stab me in the heart.
Welcome to Shazam. We start off with this kid, and he's in the car going to his grandparents' house with his dickhead dad. His asshole brother, and then bam, he gets transported to
Alright, this is the last one.
And he meets a super hobo. Okay, and the super hobo tells him, I'm looking for someone pure of heart so I can give him my powers. But to give him his superpowers, he has to test that he is indeed pure of heart. And the kid's like, ooh, shiny evil thing, mustache touchy. Ah, you failed, back you go. So the kid gets transported back to the car and starts freaking out like, no, I'm worthy, please take me back. And he's trying to get back there and opening the door and shit. His dad gets mad at him, loses control of the car, spins out, but it's all good, nothing happens, wrong, something happens, they get hit by a truck, car flips over, and his dad gets crippled for life. And apparently it's the kid's fault. Well, actually, I would argue that the dad is also at fault here for having such shitty anger management issues. I mean, come on, why are you freaking out so hard, man? Chillax. Your son's got this and the door's locked. Calm down. I'm pretty sure you also have the child lock on. Also, the car spins out, right? And this really pisses me off, okay? And there's a road here, and here. And there is no road here. That is the driver's side, you see? But the next shot is the truck hitting them on the driver's side. Not just that, if a truck hits a car, that shit caves in. It doesn't flip over. That shit caves in and the occupants fucking die. Especially in an old car like this. Maybe the kids don't die, but the dad 100% dead. 100%. Alright, now this was in the past. Now let's fast forward to the present day. We got Billy Batson, an orphan looking for his mother that lost him when he was a kid. However, all his
no, actually it's not lost. It's purposely abandoned.
With a new family, or super nice. Okay, the mom and dad are really nice. They were foster kids themselves, you see, and they have 5 other adopted foster kids. We got the crippled kid Freddy, and we got fat kid, Asian kid, cute kid, and the teenager. Oh wait, hold on, go back. Is that a Razer headset? Damn, never mind. Billy gets to share a room with Freddy, okay? And Freddy is a superhero super fan, and he now goes to the same school as them. Cut to the evil guy. Wait a second. Is that a Razor phone? How the fuck does he... Okay, wait a second. How can they afford all this shit and a giant-ass house and feed 8 people? They rob banks. They are back, so they cut to the evil guy, and the evil guy is the kid.
They're more rich than the evil guy. God.
He has made it his life mission to get back to the hobo and prove that he's worthy and take the power. So he's researching people who have experienced the same thing as him in an effort to get back there. And this is where I get a little bit confused. I thought this was only a kid can be chosen to be pure or whatever type of deal. No? But apparently it's also full-grown adults, so it's not the case, I guess, whatever. But he actually manages to make a fucking portal back to the super hobo's lair. This doctor or researcher touches the door and she's like, this is some bullshit, and then turns into ash. And then he touches it and does not turn to ash. I guess the door is warm enough to handle now. So he steps through the door thingy and gets to the super hobo's lair.
Warm enough?
Like, you're right, I'm not pure of heart. And then he goes for the green ball thing and unleashes the 7 deadly sins. And the super hobo was too weak to stop him from reaching for it, which I don't believe, because right after the 7 deadly sins are released, he does this. But apparently he can't do it to a mere human. Dumbass. Whatever. Ball goes in face. Evil ball guy becomes super evil ball guy. Meanwhile, all the kids are at school. And Freddy has a rather aggressive conversation about superheroes with Billy.
Flight or invisibility?
And then he throws out an entire plate of food. I know it doesn't look like it in this shot, but this shot comes directly after this one, and it's clearly full here, you wasteful bastard. Then Freddy gets bullied by some cunts, and this is some bullshit. No way they bully him this hard. They hit him with their truck, and nobody intervenes. No, not even school teachers, not fellow students, not even his own family. No, nobody fucking intervenes. Like, seriously, we even find out later on that they go to the same school. They go to this school, and I'm pretty sure this bullying has been going on for a long while. How has no one caught on to this? How has no one done anything about this? No worries though, Billy does something about it. The kid that has been part of his family for all but a day. Useless pricks. Well, to be fair, the Asian kid tried to do something about it, but was too late. Anyway, Billy defends Freddy and then runs away from the bullies and escapes using the subway and gets transported to the hobo's lair. And the hobo explains to him that he is the last of the Council of Wizards and he has to protect the Earth from the 7 deadly sins that have just escaped, but he's too weak, so he has to find someone to pass his powers on to. And he's like, we're running out of time here and beggars can't be choosers, so shit, I guess you're the one. So he's gonna give his powers to him using his magical walking stick. And he goes, hold my stick and say my name. That, sounds very wrong. Hold my stick and say my name, so my powers may flow through you. And if you haven't guessed by now, his name isn't actually Super Hobo, it's Shazam. So he does that, and he gets superpowers, and he's transformed into his superhero self, and Super Hobo gets turned into dust. So Billy gets transported back to the subway, then makes his way back home, and finds Freddy and convinces him that he is Billy, but he now has superpowers. Freddy and Billy go about testing what kind of superpowers he has, and they fuck around a bit. Then they get back home, they try to sneak in, but Darla finds out that he's a superhero now, and he explains to her what happened, and he accidentally transforms back into his kid self by saying Shazam. Okay, so he now has the knowledge that he can shoot lightning out of his hands, has super strength, super speed, and is bulletproof, and can switch between his kid self and his superhero self by saying Shazam. And I have a question. If you switch by saying Shazam, then why didn't the hobo switch when he said Shazam? They then proceed to fuck with the bully's car, ditch school, and test his powers out a little bit more, and do some stupid shit, and post that shit on YouTube, and get a shit ton of views, become famous. Freddy also tells the bullies that he knows this new superhero dude, and that he's gonna bring him with him to school next day. And Billy doesn't want to do that. Then we have the cliche scene where everybody's talking about the superhero at the dinner table, while most of them don't know that the superhero is with them right now. Next day comes, and Billy flakes on Freddy, and instead does some stupid shit, and Freddy gets a suitcase wedgie. And then he gets mad at him, they have an argument, Billy accidentally lightning strikes a bus, and then saves it from falling off the bridge. Dog, you have to move, shoot, please be a good dog, please go, please move. Yes, thank you. This dog shouldn't be a problem, dipshit. You can just put it anywhere else. You have so much space. Also, you can't catch it from its fucking cracked glass. That's just against the laws of physics. Whatever, let's move on. Because the evil guy went to his dad's company, so they were having a board meeting, and he unleashed his sins and killed everybody in the fucking board meeting. Then they said tell him, dude, you gotta watch out, because the super hobo will pass on his powers. And you gotta go kill him or take his powers or whatever before he realizes how strong he is and defeats you. So he arrives there after Freddy and Billy have another small argument. He starts fucking with Billy and drops him from a really high place, and Billy learns to fly inches above the seemingly empty highway. Then he gets hit by a truck. And I mean empty. Look at this. It's almost like they didn't have enough money to CGI some more shots in this car. What? Causing the shot. They fight some more, and then they take the fight to the mall.
So, like, what you and Mrs. Claus do in the summertime?
In some ways, Santa's always here for you.
That answer is completely irrelevant to the question that she asked, okay? The question that she asked was, what do you and Mrs. Claus do in the summer? And the answer is... Billy turns into his kid self and escapes, goes back home, and his new parents are mad as fuck at him, and apparently don't notice that Freddy's in home, but whatever, we're gonna gloss over that. They are mad as fuck at him, and they begin teaching him a lesson. While doing that, his siblings find out that he is the superhero that they see on TV, and they help him locate where his mom is. So he escapes the house and tries to run over and find his mom, and his new parents run after him. So he gets to his real mom and finds out that she did not lose him. She meant to leave him because he was in a bad way and she couldn't care for him back then, and he would have been better off.
What?
He finds out that she's still in a bad way right now, and she's in a really abusive relationship, and she basically sucks ass. So he gets a call from Freddy, and turns out that the bad guy's holding his family hostage because he found out that Freddy is Billy's brother. So he brought him to his house and started holding them all hostage until he comes home.
Supervillain! Supervillain!
Dude, you just saw everyone run away. Well, everyone except for the film group. Who are you yelling at? Billy gets there, and the evil guy opens a portal to the hobo lair and wants him to give him his powers. But his family follows him in and distracts him long enough for Billy to throw him into a wall and escape out of there, and somehow they end up at a carnival. And to stay incognito, Billy switches from superhero form into kid form. In doing so, he reveals his position to the evil guy, and the evil guy swoops in and tries to fuck shit up and scare all the normal peeps. So Billy goes to fight him, and I'm not so sure that thing should be tilting or bending that way or moving any way, shape, or form. I mean, he struck it with lightning. He didn't throw a boulder at it. And who the fuck is this bitch? She literally ran into frame so she can give us this cliche bystander looks at a superhero taking off look. It's just so unnatural. Whatever, they fight, and his family has a brilliant idea to
divide and conquer. We separate the sins from the eye, and he's just an old man.
Now, how the fuck does this bitch know that they're sins? Ain't nobody told her anything about no sin, okay? Hell, even fucking Freddy was like,
when the demon guys leave his eye, he loses his powers.
So know what? Who told her about sins? How does she know this shit? While fighting, Billy turns into his kid self to escape, and bamboozle the bad guy, and runs over some ice and ice breaks and stuff, and this is just mind-blowing to me. And this is a stage, right? Who in their right mind would actually make a frozen lake for a stage? I feel like this would be some sort of prop or decoration or some shit. No one would actually go out of their way and make a fucking real-ass frozen lake on a carnival stage. Whatever, all the sins of the bad guy have captured his family, every single one of them, and the bad guy wants Billy to give him his powers. But instead, Billy's like, fuck you, and tells everybody to grab the staff and say Shazam, so all his family get his powers. Then he breaks his staff so the evil guy can't take his powers anymore. Good job, Billy. What are you gonna do now when your time comes and you have to pass your powers on to somebody, huh? How are you gonna make another staff of those? You know how to make another staff? I don't think so. So they all have powers now. Cool. So they all take on the sins and start saving people while Billy's fighting the main bad guy. And this is where I get a little bit confused, okay? Does everybody get all the powers of Billy? Because the purple girl has speed, okay? Green guy has power, blue guy can fly, gray guy has electricity, and what does the red girl have? Because it doesn't look like she has anything. Or does she have all the powers of Shazam, just like Billy does because she's red, but she's just as equally oblivious on how to use them, just like he was? Either way, I'm really confused. Back to the fight. So there are 7 sins, and 6 of them are out of his eye right now, which is the power matrix. That's where he gets his power from. So Billy tricks the last sin to come out of his eye, hence making the bad guy lose his powers, and he drops out the sky. So Billy grabs him and saves him before he drops to the ground, and rips his eye out, trapping all the sins in it. Then he goes back to the hobo lair. I don't know how he got there. He still doesn't know how to get there on his own, but whatever. And he puts the eye back, and the sins are trapped for eternity again, I guess. Shut up, cat. They go back to being a normal-ass family, and Billy shows up in Shazam form at school to make Freddy look cool in front of everybody. You know what? Better than Suicide Squad out of 10.
Definitely.
Welcome to Spider-Man Homecoming. We are greeted by this old dude and his cleaning crew who are cleaning up the mess that the Avengers made in the first Avengers movie. And it's just a bunch of debris, dust, and buildings, some old alien tech shit that is left around from the fight. Then some dudes and a woman in suits come in and they're like, you are hereby relieved of today. We shall take over operations from now on. But hey, this is my job. You can't do this to me. Don't care. So the old guy's mad as fuck. And he's like, I'm gonna keep some of this stuff. And he steals some more, okay, makes weapons out of it and sells it on the streets. Gets rich as fuck, and 8 years later he's still doing this stuff, and he built himself a cool ass vulture suit, hence the name the Vulture. Skip to the events of Captain America Civil War. And Tony Stark has recruited Spider-Man and given him a new suit to test if he can be an Avenger or not. And he gives him some confusing ass advice/instructions which he tries to follow. Don't do anything.
This guy's most recent video
What the fuck? So he goes on with his normal life, you know, making web.
A Quiet Place.
Move Parker, someone could see the shit, and jumping over
From a week ago.
Out of school. You're telling me that school ends and he's the only one out of there? I call massive bullshit because the entire school should be floating out of there right now. He does some Spidey stuff like stop a bike from being stolen, help an old lady out, give her directions, and stop a car theft, but not really.
It's my car, dumbass!
Who the fuck opens their own car like this? Alright, maybe he forgot his keys inside, whatever. But then he finds some interesting stuff, okay? He finds some dudes trying to rob an ATM, okay? With what looks like a portal.
I'm gonna react to a 40-minute movie. Alright, Spider-Man Homecoming Prodigy. Oh, it's parody, not Prodigy. Alright, still, I'm gonna watch this one first. King Bach. I found it! It's from 3 years ago and it's 58 minutes long.
When I get my powers, I'm about to fuck you up. Are you ready? I'm gonna turn into Spider-Man! Not Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man.
Don't be scared. Look at him. Boy, you look like you rode Uber pool to Homecoming.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Your head look waterproof. Hey, yo, man, your hair looks stupid, dog. It's not even my real hair. My shit fresh as fuck.
What?
Gotta protect the secret. My arm very slow. Come here, bitch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you a bitch. Whoa! Yo, what they do is your boy Spider-Man rising, grinding, about to beat his ass for robbing bitches. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you a bitch. Whoa! Shit! You need some milk? Oh, okay, that's how you want to play. All right, little slow. Oh, very slow. Oh, very slow. Come here, bitch.
Owlboy Carson. I haven't watched this guy in so long. All music in this film is credited in the end of the movie and also credited in the description below. Do I get copyrighted? Here, yes. Save to watch later. I haven't watched this since I was like 4.
It's me, Peter Parker, and
oh, we're doing my photo.
Donkey, I'm reacting to a 1-hour movie.
What is it?
A parody of Spider-Man. It's by Owlboy Carson, I guess. Yeah, I've been reacting to stuff all day. What? Say that again?
You have the battle pass.
No, I don't have the battle pass. I don't want it, honestly.
How would you not want this?
is it because school is a pain in the butt?
Look at it. Why would I want it?
I'll just say that I'm someone that
The only good skin is Charlotte. Well, the second style. Wait. Yeah, the second style. Here, let me watch this movie. Here, go into like a map and all right, here, let me join Stoich. I'll invite you. Or that. Hello. Is this Archer or Trapper? I can't remember.
It's Trapper.
Oh, okay.
Malik, hello?
Hello.
Hello. Hey, in a little bit, at like, let's say 3:30, do you want to say we have to get off, like go stream
and go what?
Like, do you want to fake and tell them that we both have to get off at 3:30, but let's go stream together?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go back to party chat. I'll send you an invite to it.
Alright.
Hi, this is an ordinary school, but I am no ordinary student. I have 5 AP classes this year with a grade point average of 4.5. Not bad, huh? Occasionally, there are some bullies in our school. Hey, Peter. And they never...
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see this again. Hello. Hi.
Oh my god, it's the weird person who lives near me.
Hi. No, now I do. Yeah, I know that. I'm trying to react to a movie. It's like a parody. I'm gonna go into game chat. What the? Hello, Archer. Wait, I mean Trapper. Wait, hold on, who's talking? Am I in party chat? Or game? Oh, okay. I haven't... Oh, okay, I'm confused. Connect player party connect time. Oh, I could do that way quicker. He climbed up a wall. I'm confused. Awkward. Awkward. Hello?
Sam. How do you say homework? Just a little... I'm bored right now. I just want to fight crime.
What's he hitting? Oh, it's a boxing. I can tell he's not actually. Bam 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 bam. I want to see like the last fight scene. Murdered. This guy. Oh god. This one.
Who you are, old man, but you need to get out of here. Because if you got a problem with him, you got a problem with us.
Well, I guess we do have a problem.
Whoa, hold on, I don't want any trouble. Okay, I'm just gonna take a seat.
I like that actor. I like the decent actor. The other ones are just bad. The decent one. I like the decent one. Oh yeah, here. I don't care that you just killed my friend. I'm just... Huh, you just murdered my friend. Okay, here, what are we gonna do now?
No. Sadly, you're not gonna get a chance.
Chance to what?
You're a monster. Come, I have use for you.
Yield the little...
Well, welcome to Adam.
He's wearing a mask. I no longer like this movie. I don't like it.
Is complete. In work, it's Spider. Guys, it's your voice. It's to me. The enemy is Spider-Man.
That's what I hear. Did he just... What? He used telekinesis to... The web sound effect though. Whoop.
Hey, you're not supposed to be here.
Oh my god, you're the Spider-Man? Spider's over there.
I'm pretty sure it's just Spider-Man, not the Spider-Man. Oh my god, it's the decent actor. I recognize this kid. It's the decent actor. The decent actor is now a bad actor. Why does he not have his mouth? I hate this kid. I hate this movie. Ah, it's why it's annoying.
Alright, get out of here, buddy.
What's his face? No, I can copyright it. No. I know copyright claims when I see it. I know copyright claims when I see it. Dude, I'm hearing... I don't know if I'm hearing myself. I heard like static. Am I talking that loud? I'm just gonna say it here. That may be an awesome kick, but it is so easy to dodge. Can't he just jump over the fence? Isn't he Spider-Man? How is he hurt? Can't he like web sling? Yeah, it was a great landing. I love the sound effects. Thwip. Thwip.
Peter, a service.
Wait, did he let him free? He is Spider. Seriously, dude, he could have killed him. That's dumb. No, don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. This used to be like I used to think this was like a good movie. I just don't like it. I hate it, honestly. Spider-Man Homecoming in a nutshell.
It's crispy.
Is it more of a nutshell than that?
It's Kinder Bueno.
Spider-Man Homecoming in real life.
Dude, you're Spider-Man from YouTube. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Do a flip.
Actually, wait, no, I'm not the Spider-Man from YouTube. Don't search me on YouTube right now, please. Don't search as Spider-Man on YouTube. I'm not.
How does that scare people?
Hey, I'm Peter Parker, and I was wondering if you have any deals for people in the Stark internship?
No, I don't right now. You can call back Monday morning and talk to the manager.
Do you know who Tony Stark is, though? Head of the...
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, he's the head of the Stark industry.
You really don't have no time. You need a friend. Hey, boo, how you doing again? You don't have no girlfriend to play?
Put these Christmas decorations up.
Well, we just took down the Easter ones.
It doesn't matter. For us, Christmas starts now.
Okay.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 13. Hundreds of thousands of bodies have either been lost or buried at sea, so every time you swim in the ocean, you're basically bathing in a graveyard. Chainsaws were originally invented for childbirth. Female mummies in ancient Egypt were always decomposed more than the male ones, and this is because the male bodies were embalmed a lot sooner while the female bodies were kept at the family home until they started to decompose a little bit. And this was to prevent people from having sex with the dead female bodies. Vlad the Impaler was called this because he would place his enemies ass first on pointed poles that would slowly skewer them to death. Fatal familial insomnia is a disease where a person literally cannot go to sleep no matter what they take or what they do. The symptoms get progressively worse until they die of exhaustion. And for the last one, you might want to look up who invented blow-up dolls.
Wasn't it Hitler? Yeah, I think it was Hitler. Yeah, I was right, it was Hitler. That's perfect. It was actually Hitler. Gravity Falls, but it's Dream SMP animation. Where's Wilbur? I can't find it.
Mum took away my PS4, so I punched a hole through my bedroom wall. I'm not aggressive, just ooze masculine passion. Did you know I've also got depression? Self-diagnosed, thought I should mention. I thought you could be the one to fix me.
Dun, dun, dun,
Just ooze in love with it.
My PS4, so I punched a hole in my bedroom door. Mum took away my PS4, so I punched a hole in my bedroom door. What's the video for it? What did he say when he said the PS4 thing? Mum took away my PS4, so I punched a hole through my bedroom wall. I'm not aggressive, just ooze masculine passion. I need to know I've also got depression. I'm self-diagnosed, thought I should mention. I don't know if Dream is gonna die here. Hold on. Hello.
What is this? Hello? Do you know this kid? Do you invite him?
Yeah, I invited him. I just don't remember him. Wait, did you have any past usernames?
What?
What were your past usernames?
I met you like last week. Or 2 weeks ago.
What was your username before that?
The real Mao.
The what?
Never mind. It's a hard knock life. I thought you'd be the one to fix it. Took away my PS. Mom took away my PS4, so I punched her. It does not take 28 does it really?